did you come back? Marathon of a match.
Playing amazing tennis. I mean, she's back where she belongs, and I told her, like, I'm so proud of her after.
For 127 years, the Western and Southern Open has called Cincinnati home, and in all that time it never needed extra server space for a single third-round match. Yet one match just sent over 53,000 ticket requests through a system built for only 9,000. No session had ever sold out in under 7 minutes. No match had ever been moved from an outer court to the main stadium within 2 hours of the draw based purely on fan demand. Not even Serena or Federer caused that. But in August 2026 at this legendary tournament it is happening, and the reason is Alex Eala. The Lindner Family Tennis Center is no minor stop on the tour. It is a $260 million hardcourt jewel with 11,200 seats that has hosted Agassi, Sampras, and Serena at their best. Federer won here 5 times, turning this humid Ohio summer event into his personal kingdom for a decade. This place builds legends and separates great players from historic ones. Now Amanda Anisimova, a former Roland Garros quarterfinalist who beats higher-ranked players for a living, just took out Fatima Sonmez in straight sets to reach the third round. Her next opponent is a 21-year-old from the Philippines, seeded 12th, and Cincinnati has no clue what is about to hit it. Before the draw came out, tournament director Patricia Walsh called this the strongest women's field here in over 10 years. Third-round afternoon tickets were going for $195, which matched the 5-year average for that session. Organizers placed Eala's projected match on the outer stadium with 5,400 seats, following standard seating rules and past attendance trends. That was not a snub, just professional protocol for a 12th seed. The tech team had run stress tests, and hospitality packages were still available Tuesday morning. Sales were on track for a comfortable 18-day sell-through with no red flags anywhere. Everything looked normal until Eala's name showed up opposite Anisimova in the third round. Then normal disappeared. Within 45 minutes of the online draw, the ticketing platform logged 53,000 active sessions, smashing its previous record of 14,200 set during Serena's farewell announcement in 2022. The outer stadium assignment got scrapped and replaced with the main court in under 2 hours. Primary market prices jumped from $195 to $390 before noon, and by the next morning secondary listings hit $500 for upper-level grandstand seats. By 8 a.m. those same seats cleared at $560, and lower bowl center spots reached $940 by close of business. A $220 face value ticket traded at 4 times that on StubHub, Vivid Seats, and SeatGeek with no drop in sight. The official resale inventory vanished so fast that fans who joined the queue at 9:04 found nothing by 9:11, just 7 minutes of buying time before the session closed to the public. Across Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, and West Virginia, 11 community Facebook groups coordinated bulk purchases in real time, with some posting step-by-step instructions before the draw even finished loading on most screens. To grasp why this happens everywhere Eala goes, you have to know who is filling those queues. About 12 million Filipinos live and work outside the Philippines, with over 4 million in the United States, spread across Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Houston, San Francisco, and yes, Cincinnati. They work in hospitals, warehouses, care facilities, and schools, doing round-the-clock labor on overnight shifts, weekends, and holidays. They swap shifts months ahead, book flights on credit, eat lunch at their desks to save leave, and send money home through remittance services that take a cut. They measure time not in years, but in missed calls and skipped reunions. And when a 21-year-old from Manila reaches the third round of a 127-year-old Ohio tournament, they do not watch on their phones. They show up in numbers this event has never seen for one player at this stage. 14 nurses from Louisville bought tickets in the first 8 minutes after the draw, having built their schedules around Cincinnati since May. They did not hope Eala would make the third round, they assumed it and planned. Ronald Dela Cruz drove 4.5 hours from Detroit, submitting a personal day request 10 days before the draw because he had done the same drive to Washington in June, sat through 2.5 hours, and drove home that night. Not a road trip, but a specific match for a specific player. Grace Buenaventura flew from Houston on a Thursday evening, landed at 11:40 p.m., attended the morning session, and caught a Saturday red-eye back for her weekend shifts. $400 in flights, $340 for a ticket, less than 18 hours on the ground, and never once called a vacation. A 63-year-old retired factory worker from Dayton who had never watched tennis bought a $340 ticket within 20 minutes of the draw because his daughter said it mattered, so he decided it did. He did not need to understand the sport to understand the moment. Other players are watching closely too. Coco Gauff said the energy when Eala plays is unlike anything outside a Grand Slam final, with a crowd that moves differently and produces structured noise, not random chaos. Jessica Pegula compared what Eala has built with the Filipino community to Naomi Osaka's impact for Japanese tennis, and what she herself represents for American players, except that Eala's diaspora spans 6 continents at once, a scale no player this young has ever commanded. Beatrice Haddad Maya, who knows about carrying national identity, said this feels less like fan enthusiasm and more like a community making a deliberate statement through attendance. These are not hallway compliments, but sharp observations from athletes who read crowds for a living. The pattern was set long before Cincinnati and repeats everywhere. In Washington, 71% of same-day ticket purchases for an Eala match traced to Filipino surnames or diaspora zip codes. In Toronto, a single afternoon sold out in under 3 hours with 5,000 tickets linked to one Facebook coordination group. In Melbourne, over 3,200 Filipino supporters flew in from Qatar, the UAE, Singapore, and the UK for one tournament week. In Dubai, a grandstand that averaged 40% capacity for years became standing room minutes after Eala's warm-up ended. In London, an undersold session moved to sold out in 11 hours the day her participation was confirmed. Same tournaments, same venues, same marketing, only the name on the schedule changed. Sports business analyst Dominic Torres, whose work on WTA audience economics is cited by 3 major sponsors, published a note in July now circulating across WTA commercial divisions. Its core line says Alex Eala is the first active women's player in the Open era whose economic draw exists entirely apart from her ranking seeding or results. Torres argues her box office value has decoupled from her win-loss record, similar to certain brands in other sports, and that the WTA has no system to price or distribute that value fairly. She does not need a title to move tickets, she moves them before the first ball strikes, and that, Torres says, is the kind of anomaly that restructures industries rather than just benefiting from them. The Lindner Center was built for big moments, with 11,200 seats and sight lines designed for history. But what arrives with Eala is not a conventional fan base. It is a temporary homeland assembled match by match across foreign cities and time zones. They come with Philippine flags rolled under their arms, some small, some full-size, unfurled during changeovers and folded carefully during play out of respect for the rules. They wear matching shirts coordinated in group chats weeks ahead and chant in Filipino and English, blending both in ways that fill the upper tiers beyond what broadcast mics can capture. They fill seats left empty the year before when a different name held that draw spot, and turn a third-round afternoon in Mason, Ohio into an event that requires crowd flow briefings for a security team not staffed for this density. The stadium was built for great tennis, and what Eala brings fits inside it, but no one designing a venue in Ohio modeled for 12 million people spread worldwide who mobilize every time one woman's name appears on a bracket. After her second-round win, Eala was asked how it feels to walk into venues knowing what waits in the stands. She said she is grateful every time, and that seeing her community gives her something she cannot put into words, adding that she tries not to think about the scale during a match because it can become bigger than tennis. She said she will try to make them proud, and when she spoke that last line partly in Filipino, the journalists who understood it heard an audible response from the back of the press area. It was not a broadcast line, but it landed. Next up is Anisimova, a dangerous player who has ended higher seeds before and will not show up to be part of someone else's story. Then a possible quarterfinal, then New York, and a US Open draw that the whole sport is watching with rare attention. The data is clear: the stadium is sold, and the community has driven through the night, taken red-eyes, submitted leave requests, and paid $940 for a $220 seat. The remaining question is not whether this is real, because 53,000 requests and a 7-minute sellout settled that. The question is whether professional tennis, with its venues, governing bodies, broadcast systems, scheduling protocols, and commercial frameworks, was ever built to absorb something like this. The WTA designed its operations for a world where economic impact follows ranking and results. Eala does not live in that world. She is building a different one, court by court, city by city, and the sports institutions are rewriting their assumptions in real time. With every bracket she advances, she keeps moving forward, and they keep catching up. What happens the week she wins a title? Should the WTA introduce dynamic pricing to capture the premium she creates, or would that build a wall that prices out the very diaspora communities whose buying power created that premium? And if a 21-year-old from Manila is single-handedly reshaping attendance, economics, and cultural gravity across 6 continents, does the sport owe something structural to the audience that made it possible, or will it follow the money upward until the people who built the moment can no longer afford a seat? That debate is not theoretical, it is playing out right now in the ticket market of every city Eala enters. Hit like and subscribe. This channel covers stories where sports economics and community move faster than the people running the sport can follow.